Speaking of simple, the theory of judo fighting includes some quite complicated ideas. When we consider the relationship between the body and the four limbs, their positions, how to use them, how to handle the mental aspects, one theory gets mixed up with many others, so it becomes difficult to reach an overall conclusion. Even if we link these complicated theories to look at them separately, the ability to unify them in the end must be the second requirement for broad-mindedness. So you got to be able to connect things. You got to be able to simplify things. Mm-hmm. This is interesting. There is a teaching in judo competition that says one must look at the relationship between oneself and others and one's surroundings. So you have to orient. This is OODA loop.
Yeah,
this is OODA loop. So you have to orient yourself to what's happening. You have to look around and see what's going on. Another one, in judo fighting, there is a teaching, Saki o Tore, which means anticipate. Simply put, this means using your waza on your opponent before he can use his waza on you. Boom. Be aggressive. Default aggressive. Don't wait for the enemy to do something. Mm-hmm. You do it first. There is another teaching in judo fighting, Jukiro Danko, and this translates to decisive action after careful consideration. Jukiro means carefully considering the situation before attempting to use a waza. Danko means acting without delay once you have made a decision. When this teaching is applied to the path people take in life, it can indeed be relevant in many situations. This is a good one. What you consider what you're going to do, but then once you make a decision, you go.
Yeah, you go full speed.
You go full speed. You always reassess. You always keep your mind open. Even when I'm like, I made a decision like, hey, you know what? We've debated this enough. Let's go. Even when I say that and I mean it, I'm still just making sure. I always make sure. I'm always reassessing.
Yeah, and
I don't run to my death.
It seems like he's more talking about like don't make a decision, go and then hesitate the whole time.
Well, that's definitely true. And also, don't sit there and wait to make a decision.
Yeah,
make a decision. But this is what's interesting. Here's a back to the book. A further teaching, which seems to be somewhat contradictory to Danko, is known as Tomaru Tokoro Oshider, and that translates know when to stop. This means that when you venture to use a waza up to a certain point, but when you reach that point, you must stop. Again, this rule has universal applicability to many aspects of life as well. So there you go. You got those two opposing forces. One is like, go, and the other one's like, know when to stop.
Yeah.
So those are, let's just say, very important. One of the most important concepts in judo fighting says, if you win, do not boast of your victory. If you lose, do not be discouraged. When it is safe, do not be careless. When it is dangerous, do not fear. Simply continue down the path ahead. Right? Those are...
Normal face.
Yeah. Normal face. Yes. Affirmative. When encountering social pressures such as those we experience today, even an incredibly strong-willed person can lose spirit and experience great adversity. This is when he must show true character. At times like these, the ability to overcome difficulties, endure and be patient, preserve one's honor, and maintain a spirit of integrity are truly valuable above all else. In order to do this, first you must develop good daily habits. These good habits include simplicity and moderation, and while thinking of yourself, always keep other people and society as a whole in mind as well. You must not trouble others for your own convenience, and if you can, you must try to benefit others while benefiting yourself. In other words, you must perfect yourself and contribute to society, which is the ultimate purpose of the study of judo. Man, judo's a lot bigger than you thought it was, isn't it?
It is, yes, sir.
He's trying to take it to the distance.
Well, it is the way.
Those who want to do something to benefit society must first make sure they can easily take care of their own business. Yeah.
Yep.
Clean your room.
Yep.
As Jordan says. Take care of your own business.
Yep.
Then you can worry about the rest of society.
Like the oxygen mask, right? You gotta put it on yourself first, then you put it on your kid.
You can handle your kid.
Because if you're suffocating, how are you gonna help your kid?
You're not.
You can't.